All right, this is going to be the recap here for June 30th, this Thursday. And gosh, man, I love Thursdays. If you've been following me for a while, you know that Sundays and Thursdays are always my best day to trade, and today did not let me down at all. All my trades won except one that broke even. We'll look at that here in a minute on the stocks, but just a great day overall. Started off with a buy on the crude oil this morning. If you were in the live room, you saw me take the crude first, and that was a buy. I added quite a few all at the same time. I bought. I didn't stay in the trade very long, only about 10 minutes. Here's my entry around 8:33. Hit my first target. I did not carry it the second target. Once again, on these commodities, I'm trying to just play that first target. So I did hit my target. I went ahead and got out, made a nice little profit, $180. I did not hold. I did not retrade. I did not get back in again. And that was it on crude, okay? I'm not really looking to push my luck in the morning. I'm looking for that one trade and then get out on the commodities, particularly since it's been a little rough over the last few days. So I'm doing the same thing with the mini Russell. Also did the same thing with the gold. Also came in, we sold the gold right before the top of the hour. Ended up getting out of that at 468, and of course my my love, which is going to be the mini Russell, one of my two favorites, the Russell and the gold. I went ahead and I sold the gold. I sold the Russell as well, and made 294 net. So overall, just trade. I was out. Gosh, 1147 was my last trade. So I took that nice short. I mean, I probably could have held it a little bit longer, but I didn't want to once it hit that first target. So basically what we had is we had several setups. We had several patterns setting up. And once again, if you recall, I basically just use two tools that I've developed. One is based on patterns. I have 4 or 5 different patterns that I look at that provides me with the entries. And then these are my own specific patterns. They're based off of price charts. All right, they are not your classical patterns. I'm not looking at head and shoulders and pennants and all that kind of stuff. Your classical chart patterns. I'm not using these levels. I'm not using Fibonacci. I'm not using Gann. I'm not using anything that's publicly available. This is actually a formula that provides the price levels. So once I get an entry on a pattern. So once a pattern sets up for a buy or sell, then we run it through Einstein, and Einstein will give us levels. All right, price levels. Each one of these levels have a probability of hitting over 70% of the time. We also have reversals, but it will hit our target 70% of the time before it hits reversals. Now, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it goes close to target and then it reverses, but nothing's 100%. But still, we're way above average on these targets, and the same with the patterns as well. So anyway, and Thursdays are, if there was one day to trade, I mean, if somebody says I can't trade very often, I would just trade on Thursdays. I mean, if that's all the time you have available, you're busy, a lot of people work. I get that. If you don't have time to sit in front of the charts all day, do your study and do your research during the week, practice during the week, and then Thursdays are always the best days to trade. It's just, without a doubt, there's something golden about Thursdays. Fridays is a different story. So we're probably going to be a lot more careful tomorrow. Typically what I have found is when I have a really good day, and this is what a lot of traders do, is they get kind of cocky and they come in and they start getting aggressive the next day. Fridays are not a day to get aggressive, nor when you have a big day is the next day a good day to get aggressive. Typically, people will give up all their gains that they made the prior day. So my experience has been, when you have a really good day, lighten up a little bit on the next day, right? Don't go so aggressive because for some reason the market tends to take back what it gave everybody. So anyway, so let's look at our stocks. Also had a really nice day in stocks. And we'll get this wrapped up until tomorrow morning. I do want to do some trading tonight. Once again, I do trade every night. The chat room is open during the day. First hour is free to everybody, and then we continue on in our live trading room, and then at night I like to trade the foreign currencies. So anyway, let's look at our stocks from this morning. All right, so these are the stock trades for today. Made money and everything. I broke even on BTBT. Pretty interesting because actually when I went to execute, I actually was up. And there must have been a big spread there. I don't know what happened. Anyway, ended up breaking even. So it is what it is. But okay, so the biggest player obviously was EBS, but I want to really show you PALI because PALI I think is going to be another play for me tomorrow. And I want to show that to you. But there was some news that came out. Well, first of all, I had an entry over here at 225. All right. It wasn't going anywhere, wasn't going anywhere. And I only held on to this thing. Let's see. I got in around 953, I think it was. And then I got out around 1005, something like that. And that was a break-even trade, okay? Got in at 225, out at 225. But then there was some news that came out. One of these big companies, I can't remember the name of it, but I know they have a big following. They were talking about how PALI is going to be the stock to play, that was going to be the one that was really going to go through the roof. So I had a buy entry up here. I bought it at 224, came up to level 1, level 2, level 3. I was still holding, and the reason I held is because we were looking at the volume, right? We used Bookmap. We were looking at the volume. There was just, I really didn't have any really heavy selling until we got above 270, all right? And we had some really nice buy-in coming in down here. So I didn't get out, but what I ended up doing is I ended up adding, and I added around 232. Okay, so I had some on at 248. I added a lot more at 232. Once it popped up, we had that big run up. I went ahead and I got out at 248, which is where I got in, but I picked up enough here to still make me $428, all right? Then the game plan was I was just going to kind of watch and see what it does, all right? And then at the end of the day, look what happened. It started coming up. So my game plan was that I was going to come in because it was blasting through all the levels. I had a 285 up here that my game plan was to buy after the market closed, because it still trades a little bit in the evening. Well, I had alert, I had everything there. I didn't have any kind of resting order sitting over there, so I totally missed it. But the entry would have been 285. I did have some of my students did trade it. One said he got into it, I think he said he made 400 or 500, and he still has more on, carrying it in throughout the night with the idea of probably get out tomorrow because it really does look strong. But anyway, so I'd hit that entry. I would have been in if I was at my desk, but I wasn't. I did miss that trade, and then it was like 30 minutes later, it took off, and it was going through all of these 3 different levels. I don't think I had any other pattern setting up beyond that. But here's the deal. Okay, so I think we had a pullback. All right, so my game plan in the morning is if it opens quiet, I'm going to start buying as early as I possibly can. I think we're going to take out these 380 highs. Now, I'm going to wait and see if we have some patterns that set up first. But this is the play that I want to make on Friday, all right? So PALI is going to be the one I'm going to be keeping an eye on. I'm also going to be keeping an eye on PYXS, all right? PYXS, even though, only picked up 110 bucks, I really like it on the way I'm looking at the charts, all right? So I'll be looking at those 2 real heavy. EVGO, probably not. Maybe SCYX, ton of volume today on SCYX. It'll definitely be on my radar, but I'm about 80% confident that I'm going to be in PALI tomorrow. So that's my game plan. what a great day overall. Once again, Thursdays are one of my favorite days to trade. Love Thursdays. It definitely didn't disappoint. If you have any questions about how I trade, please check out my YouTube channel, Innovative Trading Strategies, or my website, innovativetradingstrategies.com. Also, if you're interested in getting into our Discord, we do have a new Discord channel. It is open to everybody. All right, we'll have some private rooms, but we're also going to have some public rooms. And we'll be sharing a lot of good information. Probably start sharing a few of my setups for everybody so they can keep an eye on those as well after the morning show is over with. So I think you should check it out. If you like trading commodities, you like trading stocks, I think it'd be well worth your time to come get into Discord, check it out a little bit, meet some of the other traders, and see exactly how I trade. This is a very simplistic way of trading, folks. I've been doing it now been a 40-year trader. I developed this 35 years ago. This is the simplest way that I have found to trade because I only use I call them universal because they work in everything. I only use patterns. And the second thing I use is Einstein. That's it, okay? Those two things, that's all I use. I do look at volume. I do look at buying and selling. I use Bookmap for that, which is like level 3. It gives me quite a bit of information. So I really use that to see whether I want to get out. So if it's getting close to a target, whether I want to get out or whether I want to maybe add to my trade like I did on PALI. So it's just another tool to kind of see where the volume is, where are all the orders sitting, where are they looking to buy, where are they looking to sell. Usually if I see a wall of buyers and I'm long and it's pulling back and I have a wall of buyers below the market, that's usually where I'm going to start adding on. Or if it's coming up to one of my levels, then and I see a wall of sellers, I'll probably go ahead and get out, see how it reacts. If for some reason we can get through that wall of sellers, I can re-enter if I have more levels above. So that's kind of what I do. But once again, please join me in the morning. You're going to get a lot more information if you join us in the morning. You're going to be able to see Bookmap. You're going to be able to see what I'm looking at when I'm looking at, the book to see where the buyers and sellers are. And you're going to get a lot more information than you do on these recaps. These recaps are just to kind of go over what I was trading this morning in our morning show and in our live trading room. All right, that's it. Everybody have a good night. And remember, tomorrow, be careful. I'll probably be in PALI. Probably won't do a whole lot of trading tomorrow, but I'll definitely more than likely be in PALI. All right, have a good night. See you tomorrow.